to today's episode of the Love and Light Show, where your special guest is Patty, and we're so excited to talk to you today about the power of astrology. So I'm really excited. I've gotten way more into it this year, and she's going to be telling us all about the rising sign, our moon sign, and Mercury. And she's also going to give our special lucky viewer a live reading at the end, and it's going to be the birthday girl, so I'm so excited. And we're going to also share all the awesome things about astrology and how you guys can connect with her in her world, because it's so cool to know more about your actual chart and what's happening in your life and what you signed up for as a soul in this earth. So I'm so excited for it. She's an intuitive astrologer who helps people demystify the horoscope. So I absolutely love that, especially since like growing up, when Cosmo would be like, you're going to get a boyfriend this month, and I didn't get a boyfriend that month, it kept like annoying me. I'm like, these things aren't real. And then I like later in life got into the spiritual world and actual people who were talking about like real horoscopes and real astrology signs and all those things. And then that would always make so much sense to me, and it would deeply resonate. So if you had negative experiences of like your childhood and reading things and it's like that never happened, there's a whole other reality. And it can resonate with you when you're like open to actual people doing it specifically for you, which is really awesome. And definitely say hi to us as you're joining us live. We have 2 people on live right now, and we can't see you when you pop in live because we're on the Be Live platform, but you have to say hi, and then we can engage with you. Even if you're joining after the show, we love to say hi to you guys. And I'm Laura McPhee, a joyful goddess, and I'm a speaker, healer, and coach, and I love empowering women so they can live their dream lives now, so that they can unconditionally love themselves, fill their cup and serve from an overflowing cup, and let go and release any and all negative belief systems and limiting beliefs that have been telling them that they're not good enough or pretty enough or smart enough or sexy enough or whatever enough, so that they can live their dream life now and be that change that they want to see in the world. And Jane is joining us live. She says, hi, Jane. Hope you're having an awesome day.
Hi, Jane.
And
That was a mouthful, girl.
I know. And this is Love and Light Show. I'm like, there's so much introductions, where every Wednesday and Friday at 1 Atlantic, 12 Eastern, and 9 Pacific, we bring you different light workers and coaches and healers and heart-centered entrepreneurs, so that you guys can have the different tips and tricks and healing modalities that will support you in your journey, so you guys can have support in finding your next best step on your healing journey, so that we can all be that change that we want to see in the world together. So I'm super excited for this episode, and we're getting more and more people join us live. And Tina says, hi, ladies. Hi, Tina. Hope you're having an awesome day. So what can you tell us about astrology and the power of it, so that we're not like thinking about horoscopes back like when I was in middle school? And Jane's like, hi, Patty.
Hi, Jane. So astrology is amazing and fantastic and just everything. It's just everything. It's luscious and delicious and crazy, and it tells you so much information. So yes, it is complex, and we astrologers do a disservice when we do those monthly horoscopes, but at least it gets you engaged to want to know more.
Yeah.
But what I tell all my clients, in astrology, you have every sign, every planet. It's just a matter of where it is that makes you the individual that you are.
Yeah.
So there's a million trillion Pisces out there, but there's only one Pisces like you. So the moment you took your first breath, it's like you took a snapshot of the galaxy, and that became your energy that you are going to work through on this planet.
Beautiful.
So there's so many important aspects in your chart, but we're going to talk about at least 3 of them today.
Yeah.
So the sun sign, that's, most people know about their sun sign, but one of the most important parts of your chart is your rising sign. Yeah. And your rising sign is based on the time that you were born and where you were born. And it is your personality. It's what people see when you walk into the room. It's your physical body. So if you are a Libra rising, Libra is ruled by Venus. It's the feminine energy. So your body usually is pleasing to the eye. It may be very symmetrical. I'm a Libra rising. I'm not as symmetrical, but energetically, usually I don't come in and like create chaos or an imbalance. When my daughter is a Pisces rising, but she's a Leo. She's a Leo sun sign. So Pisces rising are usually very quiet and demure. They're usually very photogenic. Pisces is ruled by Neptune, which is the glamour planet, the planet of photography. So your rising sign is something that you use every day. Your sun sign is more the inner you. Your rising sign's the outer you.
Very cool.
Yeah.
I love that. And Molly's joining us live too, saying, hello, beautiful ladies.
Hi, Molly.
Wonderful. So how can people learn the difference between what their sun sign is? Because I know for the longest time, I just was like, I'm Leo, born in August. That was all I knew. And then I'd hear other people talking about all this. So finally, when I had my birth chart, then they said all the things. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's what I
Yeah, so there's so many Leos out there in the world, but is there a Leo with the Pisces rising and their Mercury in Virgo and their moon in Scorpio? That's a lot of different energy. And, it just creates layers and layers like the onion that creates the complex human being that you are. So when people say, I'm a Pisces sun sign. So some of my aspects create more of a fire within me than the average normal Pisces who has more Pisces or water signs in their chart. So for you being a Leo, maybe I don't even know. Did I get your birth information? I'm so sorry.
You might have. I can't remember. It's totally fine.
I'm like, oh my gosh, so much stuff has been going on. So I apologize.
No worries.
I know that. Do you know what your rising sign is?
Not off the top of my head. I think
Girl.
I was Virgo. I think I want to say that.
You were born in the morning?
Yeah, 7:50, August 5th,
Okay.
1991.
So yes, you could be a Leo or a Virgo rising. So if that sounds familiar, Virgo rising, that's the person at the higher end of the Virgo energy, the one that wants to heal, the one that wants to help, the one that wants to be of service.
Definitely.
The lower end of the Virgo rising, the lower vibration of the Virgo rising is anxious, anxiety filled, very critical, not as open. So there are different vibrations of every energy. So that's why when you're going through life, you can rise to your highest energy or you can succumb to the lower vibration.
Right.
So, I do a lot of things in readings for people in terms of relationships. So in relationships, we get into it and it's like, okay, why can't he just be this?
Right.
And it's just like asking a cat to be a dog. A cat will never be a dog.
Yeah.
But if you know their chart, you can look and say, okay, she's a Virgo rising. And maybe at the moment in the relationship, you're working at your lower vibration of the Virgo rising. You're always going to be a Virgo rising, but you can rise to the occasion. And that's kind of the barometer in relationships that you can help your partner and be better able to get along. So it's not about changing them into another species.
Yeah.
It's just about allowing them to rise to their higher vibration.
I love that. That's so important for people to understand. It's like
Yeah.
you can always improve, but you don't need to make a cat a dog.
Yes. It's like you liked the cat before.
Exactly.
You love that cat. So now you just have to keep that cat fed and nurtured so it can rise and help that person to be their higher, better self.
Yeah, I love that. And then the Mercury sign, what's that? Tell us.
Girl, the Mercury sign is what I think every relationship needs to know. So Mercury represents how you communicate, how you think, how you process. So when you feel you're not being heard, you're not being understood, or you don't understand your partner, you need to look and see what their Mercury sign is and what aspects are aspecting that Mercury, because that gives color and range to how they think and process as well. when you know how to communicate, it's like it's a language. When you know the language of your partner, it's like gold. It's like,
Yeah.
wow, I know how you're going to hear me best. Now,
Mm-hmm.
of course, you have your own way of how you hear, but when you can communicate how your partner hears, and then they know how you hear and process, then it works. It's not about changing you. It's about understanding your partner so you can get your message across. You're always going to be, let's say, a Virgo Mercury, and a Virgo Mercury wants facts, wants process, needs to, just give me all the particulars. That's how a Virgo mind is going to work. Now, there's all kinds of other things that go into it. It's like, what house is the Mercury sign in? What planets are aspecting that planet Mercury? So one of the, I don't know if it's fun, but one of the things you always want to look at when you're dealing with somebody close to you in your life is if they have a strong Neptune aspect to their Mercury. Because if they have a challenging aspect to Neptune, then sometimes that means they could be deceptive or not always want to tell the truth.
Interesting. That's very good to know. Mm-hmm.
So, and they can use it for good or for bad. So it's just a matter of, remember again about the vibration. Are they working at the higher vibration or the lower vibration? The higher vibration could mean that they are an amazing creative writer. The lower vibration is that they may use it to tell stories for their benefit to deceive people.
Interesting. Definitely good to know.
Yes. Yes.
Awesome. What other awesome things can people use it for besides relationships? Because I know that that's a big thing, but for people who are brand new to astrology, what else can they get from their chart?
So especially with children, when you're looking at their chart, how do they learn? How did they take in information? How do they process? Sometimes when you have a Mercury retrograde, when you're born with Mercury retrograde, you have a different style of taking in information.
Interesting.
Very cool. So you just want to be aware of that and be supportive and helpful and not put a circle in a square. You want to say, okay, you may learn easier by doing. Like a Gemini Mercury, it's like a Gemini Mercury is going to want to be multitasking. It's easy for them to multitask, and the information will go in actually better for them. A Pisces Mercury is going to be more intuitive and want to process. They may be a little slower with taking in the information. So that's really helpful for children, knowing their Mercury and how they learn. So you can help them and not put them in situations where they're feeling insecure or not as good, or they think there's something wrong with them. And there is absolutely nothing wrong with them. You just have to figure out how the energy works best for them.
That's so important.
Yes, very important.
So can people get their children's birth chart done as soon as they're born and help them kind of navigate life like that?
Totally.
Very cool.
So it's not like an astrologer wants to plot out the whole child's life. It's just when they're born, you have all their information, and it's about saying, okay, their moon sign represents how they need to be nurtured. And then you look at the aspects to that moon sign, and they may be a little rambunctious. They may need a little more space. Like my son has an Aquarius moon. And so he wasn't a touchy-feely little baby. And that was hard for me.
Yeah.
So I had to learn and accept that he's not going to need what I think is natural for him to need. He's going to be more hands-off. So it's just really helpful. Their rising sign represents their physical body as well as their personality. So with a child, They may be prone to ear infections or sinus infections if they have an Aries rising. They may have more digestive issues if they're a Virgo or Cancer rising.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, those are things to help you, especially when a baby can't speak.
Right, exactly.
At least you kind of have some clues. It's a toolbox. Astrology is a nice little toolbox to help you along your path. It's not the all. I think I just did a post that astrology doesn't solve all your problems, but it tells you when those problems are coming.
Oh, I love that. That's so powerful.
Yeah.
And Kenneth asked, hey, Patty, what do you mean by high and low end vibrations? Are you referring to the 3 decans? Am I saying that right? Each sign has along with the crossover hybrids. Great talk, by the way.
No, I'm not actually talking about the decans. I'm just talking about there is so much attached to each sign. So there's positives and negatives. There's high vibration and low vibration. Whatever your language is, however you can hear it. You know, people in general, when you say Scorpio, people have their own
thought about what that picture is.
Their first thought is like, ooh, Scorpio, they're intense, they're deep. But also Scorpios are the healers. They're so wise, they're so loyal, they're so creative. So there's just, and then of course there's Scorpio energy that's very dark and deep and angry and aggressive and revengeful. So yes, it's all of that. It's just a matter of claiming what your spirit needs to know in this lifetime. And hopefully, of course, our desire is to work from the higher vibration.
Yes, very cool. I love that.
Thanks for that question, Kenneth.
Yeah, thank you. And I'd love to get into that reading. So Melanie was the birthday girl. Yay! So she gets reading.
So what was interesting is that the 3 people that I got their information, Melanie, Tiffany, and Jodine, I don't know if I'm saying Jodine's name right.
Yep, you are.
All had Cancer aspects. And what I've noticed is when there's a group event, usually it's like, again, it's energy, it's a vibration. Like-minded or like-energied people kind of come together. And especially what we haven't talked about is we're in eclipse season. And the eclipses are affecting the Cancers and the Capricorns. So the first eclipse in this season coming up in July, on July 2nd, is a Cancer solar eclipse at 10 degrees. And then the second eclipse will be July 16th. Let me make sure. Yes, July 16th at 24 degrees Capricorn. So for Melanie, her rising sign, she has 3 planets in Cancer. Her sun, her moon, and her rising. That's
lots of Cancer energy.
That's a lot of Cancer. And this eclipse season started last year in July. And then we had another eclipse in January, and now we're having the third series. The third event in this series in July. So for the Cancers and the Capricorns, this is a real opportunity for you to make some changes. And when you're awake and aware, it's not like you're a victim and things happen to you. Things could still happen. And I'm just saying this in general. Around eclipse season, people pass. They either pass away physically or they leave your life. To make room for new and progressive and people to come in to move you to the next level in life. Eclipses are very karmic. It's a very karmic time. So if you're hoping, wishing, wanting to do something, to shift your life, change careers, get married, get divorced, this is the time where it's like a doorway, a vortex is open for you to make those really hard changes.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing that's kind of making this a little more intense is that the planets Saturn and Pluto are in the mix.
Mm-hmm.
So when Saturn and Pluto are in the mix, two of the most challenging energies, it makes it that much more intense, but that much more rewarding.
Awesome.
So I don't know if you've been going through some challenging stuff in the last couple of years, especially with Pluto, what we called opposed. It's opposite your sun sign. But I'm sure you have been going through a lot of rebirth changes. And it's really about you allowing, breathing, and knowing that there's a purpose at the end of the day. You are not a victim. This is not about punishment. This is about you being able to take whatever is happening and rediscover who you really are and rise above it to be the best spirit, soul, woman that you can possibly be.
Wonderful.
I hope that's helpful, because there wasn't a specific question. Just in regards to numerology as well, you're in a 9 cycle. So this year is about completions and endings as well.
Mm-hmm.
So during this eclipse, it really is about letting go, releasing of old patterns and behaviors that are not working anymore. And for Cancers, it's really hard because they want comfort. They want to make sure that they're safe and secure. Mm-hmm. So being exposed or feeling like you have to take a risk is so not in your comfort zone, especially for a triple Cancer. Mm-hmm. So just know this is really a time to dig deep and just keep moving forward with your head up, knowing that you have so much protection and love around you that you can't see but is present. You need to rely on it. I call it faith, the universe, whatever your comfort zone is, open up to that to get you to the other side.
Beautiful. That's so powerful.
Yeah.
And for people who don't know anything about eclipses, can you give us a little bit of a background on what eclipses are, so they're not like looking up at the sun being like, it's not being eclipsed every single...
No, eclipses happen twice a year, sometimes 3 times a year. Mm-hmm. They happen usually about 6 months apart, and they change signs every 18 months to 2 years. So from 2017 to 2019, we were in the Leo Aquarius eclipse season. Mm-hmm. And then it moved into the Cancer Capricorn season, July of 2018. And it's going to end in, I don't have the exact ending date, but I think it's going to be in July of 2020. So eclipses are very karmic. There are portals to really move you exponentially to a place that you need to be. It's when those surprises happen, when those synchronicities happen that are just perfect timing. Mm-hmm. And then when you're not open, when you're really resistant, it's when things are really hard, because you're resistant to the change, to the growth, to the opportunity that's coming, because you think you're not ready. So you resist it. So then it gets really complex and hard. Mm-hmm. So this eclipse series is a brother sister to the one that was in the year 2000, 2001. So think about what happened then. And then it was the same eclipse series in 2008, 2009. I'm sorry, 2009, 2010. And now we're having it again. 2018, 2019.
Very cool.
So you kind of look back at those times in your life and see a progression, because astrology is all about cycles and patterns. and kind of shifting and moving up and up. But some people, a lot of people, they create this victimdom. Oh my God, it happened then. Oh, I'm supposed to suffer. No, you're not supposed to suffer. You're supposed to do the work so you can get out of that rut.
Yeah.
It's just like when we attract the same man or the same woman, we keep attracting. It's like, oh my God, he's in prison. I always attract people in prison. Why? Because you're not rising above. If you don't want to attract a man who's always in prison, then rise above, shift your energy, wake up and say, okay, what is it within me? Okay, I guess I want somebody who's really not available. Why do I want somebody who's not available? Look and see where that pattern started and shift it.
Yes, so empowering. I love that.
Yes.
And Kenneth said earlier, thanks for the clarity. That's awesome.
Yes.
And
Vegans are advanced astrology. So Kenneth knows stuff. But yes, it's about taking 10 degrees in each sign, and then it applies to another sign. So if you're born, let's say the first 10 degrees of Pisces, then you are a Pisces Cancer, I think. Kenneth, please tell me if I'm right or wrong. But yes, it's again, the layering.
We're all so complex.
We're all so complex. We're one big fat contradiction inside this one body.
But it's so cool. Like when I got mine done, I got it on the day of my 2-year anniversary for my business. And it gave me so much clarity. I had so much resistance to the more sexual healing and empowerment stuff that was coming up and being really called to do more. And the day before I was crying and being why did my soul choose this? Did it understand what I was signing up for here? And then immediately was yeah, and all of these things have come through to support you in doing this work, and you were made for this. And I'm oh, right now?
Yes. It's so amazing. It's so complex, and there's so much information to help you on your journey and give you courage, actually. Like you're saying, it's giving you courage. It's oh, now I see.
Yeah.
Okay, I can do this.
Yep. It's everything in my chart says all these things. It's yep, this is everything that I've been feeling, super confirmed for me choosing this soul on this day and this human body. Yep.
And even on the day that your business started, that's a birth chart. That's a natal chart. So just like the United States of America, July 4th is our birth chart. And so these eclipses not only affect us personally, it affects the United States even more because it's its birth
Cancer energy.
And so there's just so much information.
I was going to say, because they're the Cancer energy, because I'm it's close to now, but then I'm it probably switches as soon as July hits.
So July 4th, it's a Cancer, and the United States has a Sagittarius rising. And Sagittarius is about international endeavors. So we're the melting pot. Hopefully we will still be the melting pot.
Yes.
But yes, and I mean, I could go on and on and on and on. Astrology is a great tool to use. It helped me raise my children. And so they can be comfortable in their skin and not question and feel insecure or wonder, oh my God, what was wrong with me because I'm not good at this. No, you're not good at this. You're going to have to work at it, and it's all okay. That's how you came in.
That's so powerful.
It's so powerful. Yes.
And Kenneth did say Pisces Aquarius, I think, assuming you mean 10 degrees clockwise. So he is confirming.
No, okay.
Can you see that, the comment?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
I do. Thank you, Kenneth.
Thank you. So how can people connect with you after the show?
So you can go to my website, pattykamson.com, and it's Patty with a Y, Kamson with a K. All that, come and sign up to my newsletter will get a 1-month free personal horoscope report.
Really cool.
So sign up, give me your birth information. I will get that emailed to you. So that's a nice little trade-off. I do a workshop, The Power of Five, which is really helpful to find the power within your chart so you can access it and utilize it.
Great.
All the dates are on my website. So yeah, I'm just opening up and allowing things to unfold and share and demystify astrology.
I love that. And do you want to put the link to your website in the comments below so that they can just click on it after the show?
I will definitely do that.
Awesome. Yeah. Thank you so much. And thank you guys so much for tuning in to the Love and Light Show. Thank you, Patty, for sharing your wisdom and your love and light with us today. I really appreciate your time. And I hope you guys continue to make the Love and Light Show weekly habits in your life on Wednesday and Fridays at 1 Atlantic, 12 Eastern, 9 Pacific. Sending you guys all so much love and have a wonderful weekend and long weekend for all my fellow Canadians out there. Enjoy Canada Day. Bye.
Oh, happy Canada Day.
Thank you.